How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Armchair Analysis. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday so far. Hope you guys had a great weekend, stayed safe, drank responsibly, if so. If not, that's all right too. But hope everybody had a good weekend. Is ready for the new week, which is going to lead to a lot of playoff series coming to an end here this week. You can also say hi to Bo up here in the background too. He's real curious of what I'm doing. But yeah, it just we got a big week ahead. I think we got a lot of series that are going to come to an end. We already have one series in the books in round one of the NBA playoffs. We've got series that are all tied up at two. I mean, across the board in the Western Conference and in the NHL, we have the Eastern Conference with a lot of series trying to end themselves at this point. I mean, we have a lot of things to go over, so let's go ahead and get into it. This is our typical recap. Mondays and Fridays we do a recap of the daily sports, really, the MLB, NBA, NHL, and I want to get this out of the way right now that we are going to be doing. Well, not we, I am going to be doing draft grades. That video is coming out tomorrow. I'm going to be doing all that research throughout the day today and the night, and we'll have that video up tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully that works out well. I'm going to also have the Red Sox documentary video up as well in the next few days. It might be May 1st, but it will be in the next few days as we go through. And then as we complete rounds of the NBA playoffs, we will also recap those, or the NBA and NHL playoffs. We will recap those and everything going on. We also have the MLB monthly recap coming up, probably on the 3rd, the 2nd or the 3rd. I'm not fully sure yet. So we're just into a point now where we have a lot of videos ready to come out, a lot of content ready to go, and I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Hope you guys will stick around and tune in. It's been greatly appreciated throughout the first month, again, of this channel being back. It's been really cool to see a lot of people who have been here before coming back and coming back to these videos. And don't worry, again, college football content will be here. Trying to work out how that's going to look and what it's going to be. But there will be college football content on this channel. Don't worry one bit about that. But we're covering everything. I love really all sports, and I really want a chance to talk about them. So that's kind of what we're doing here. That's kind of what the end goal is here. So again, I thank you guys for coming along on this journey, and yeah, here we go with the actual business. Let's start with the MLB, and we'll start in the American League, where the Boston Red Sox took a 2-1 series victory over the Cleveland Guardians, which was headlined probably by the Jarren Duran incident, arguing with a fan making fun of him, and I mean, we'll just go ahead and get into this here. There's no place in the world to tell anybody that they should have acted upon killing themselves or hurting themselves. Sorry, YouTube. There's no place in the world to tell somebody that they should have acted on something like that. Jarren Duran, 100% within his rights. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all can react as humans. I've seen a lot of troll baiting on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, just throughout social media as a whole about this whole situation. And it's been really weird, a very interesting behavior from a handful of people. I think the Guardians fan base has the majority of them, and I've been to Guardians games, well, prior to them being the Guardians, but I've been to Guardians games, and, it's a really good fan base, truly. It's unfortunate that this situation kind of is where you get the opportunity to hear about them outside of the playoffs, and that's not indicative of that fan base whatsoever. Every fan base has shitty fans, unfortunately. And, I don't blame Jarren Duran. I hope that there's no punishment from the league for this, because this is not really in my opinion, it's not a punishable offense. I mean, at some point you have to sit back and say that, hey, these guys are not zoo animals. We're not here to just poke fun and say whatever the hell we want to say as fans to these players. These guys are human too. They deserve to have feelings, and be treated with the respect that I think everybody deserves as a human right. So personally, I'm not concerned about it either. Honestly, I'm waiting for the day that consequences, you know, actions get to meet their true consequences. That would be that'd be a great day in the world. But unfortunately, that's not today. Don't think Jaren Duran's in the wrong. And honestly, he got back at him. The straight steal at home was absolutely phenomenal. A 13-3 victory on Sunday. Just a good series for the Sox to get going again. And yeah, I'll have plenty to say about them at the end of the month and in the monthly recap. We'll get the two sweeps out of the way. The Detroit Tigers take a 3-0 series sweep over the Baltimore Orioles. We'll talk about the Orioles again. Actually, the boys at Immaculate Inning already did a little bit of talking about the Orioles. I'm going to go ahead and talk about them as well again in the monthly recap, just kind of where they're at, what's going wrong, take a little bit deeper of a look into their season thus far. The Minnesota Twins took a 3-0 sweep over the LA Angels. A little more surprising. The Angels had been kind of a hotter team, winning a lot of games, and the Twins just came in and took care of business. I think that's a really solid series win. I think that should bring a lot of confidence to this Twins team, fan base as a whole. I thought it was a really solid weekend for Minnesota. As for the rest of the series, we had the Yankees taking 2 out of 3 against Toronto, the Athletics taking 2 out of 3 against the White Sox, and the Royals took 2 out of 3 from the Astros in the American League. As for the National League, the Braves took 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. The Reds took a series sweep over the Colorado Rockies. St. Louis took 2 out of 3 over Milwaukee, and the Dodgers took 2 out of 3 over the Pirates. Series ongoing, 4th game tonight. They had a weekend wraparound series. The Nationals and the Mets. The Nationals currently have 2 out of 3 so far, so the Mets are looking to even that series, get out of there again, 500 on the weekend. As for the interleague play this weekend, we had 3 series. The Rays took a sweep over the Padres. Kind of an impressive weekend for the Rays. They're going, if I'm not mistaken from what I was looking at on the road, but I could be wrong, so forgive me. I am coming off of a very long actual work shift and trying to get this video out, so I apologize. It's not rushed. It's just kind of my brain's scrambled. I've been up for about 18 hours, and I need to go to bed, honestly. But you know, the videos are what's important. Seattle takes 2 out of 3 over the Marlins, and the Giants take 2 out of 3 over the Rangers. And then, we go on from there to the NBA. The NBA playoffs have heated up both on the court, off the court, in results of, in terms of not so much results on the court, but results as in some fights throughout this series, these sets of series. The Knicks and the Pistons have been back and forth chippy from the moment Game 1 tipped off. That has not changed. Last night was an interesting game where officiating played a part. Again, I'll talk a little more about that another time. I think I have a video in mind for officiating throughout all of sports, but really, this one was incredible. A missed foul call takes a game away from the Pistons. They now trail 3-1 in their series with the Knicks. The Celtics have a 3-1 lead over the Magic, and the Pacers have a 3-1 lead over the Bucks. The big deal here, Milwaukee is in deep trouble. I'm talking huge trouble. The reason I say that, Damian Lillard comes back, plays Game 3, plays part of Game 4, gets injured again. It's not looking good, according to Doc Rivers. Milwaukee's going to have to find a way to win without star power on the court. They haven't done it yet. Indiana, I think, is that good of a team. I don't think Milwaukee is going to just come back in this series. It's going to take most likely an injury, and here on this channel, we don't wish injury upon anybody, and especially me for the Pacers. The Pacers are kind of like my guilty, I'm a Sixers fan, But if I had to pick a second team, it would be the Pacers. Love the roster. It's the only NBA team I've ever seen play well in their home court. I watched Indiana play Boston way back when. Um, and so, I mean, yeah, I'm happy to see Indiana doing well, but the Bucks have a team that should be good. And truth be told, what this entire playoffs has proven to me at this point is just how important those coaching changes have been, and the consistent coaching changes have been. We'll get a little bit more into that on the other side here. The Cavaliers have a 3-0 series lead over the Heat. I believe they play tonight to determine whether or not the Cavs will sweep in 4. As for the Western Conference, we have one series in the books. That's Oklahoma City took a 4-0 sweep of the Grizzlies. Took them out. A lot of that has to do with Ja Morant getting injured in Game 3, but it honestly, it didn't really matter. This series was in the hands of Oklahoma City from the minute it tipped off. And, you know, I have them going all the way to the finals. I don't really know if there's anybody in the West that's going to hang with them. Nobody did all year. Oklahoma City is just that good of a team and that kind of star power going on. The rest of the Western Conference playoffs, Minnesota took a 3-1 lead last night over the Los Angeles Lakers. The Golden State Warriors have a 2-1 series lead over the Houston Rockets, and the Nuggets and the Clippers are tied at 2 after 4 games. All of these series have been fantastic. I thought the Warriors Rockets game the other night was awesome. It was just a really good game. Again, I'm sorry, my brain is sort of fried here. The Nuggets and Clippers has been interesting. It feels like it's been in the hands of the Clippers, and honestly, I would say talent has kept Denver in the game in the series. But I do think there's just a touch to this team that's missing Mike Malone right now, and you know, it's gonna be an interesting case study at the end of the year. After, you know, we did this video a couple weeks back about the firings, all the coach firings this year, and how they haven't really panned out or may not pan out. The Grizzlies are done after being the 2 seed at one point in the Western Conference, or in line to be the 2 seed in the Western Conference. The Nuggets are tied at 2 in a series that I think they have the better team in. We'll see how that goes. And then again, I mean, Phoenix is completely out, so there's not much to say about them. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses forward. Again, we'll recap all of round 1. I don't want to take too much away from that video. Just kind of the quick nitty-gritty updates of the weekend. And again, I'm not talking draft here today. That'll be tomorrow. That video will come out, and it's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that we talk about here. Moving on to the NHL side of things, and we've seen some fantastic hockey. I'm not going to lie to you, I've paid way more attention to the NHL playoffs than I've paid the Stanley Cup playoffs than I've paid to the NBA playoffs, without any disrespect to the NBA. It's been easier for me to follow the NHL the last week or so. In the Eastern Conference, we have Toronto with a 3-1 series lead over Ottawa. Ottawa gets an overtime win in Game 4 to extend the series. They go back to Toronto. We'll see how it goes. They will play Toronto, Ottawa, and then Toronto again, if I'm not mistaken. Going to be a really interesting finish to this series. Ottawa's been tough, gritty. This Battle of Ontario has been everything we've asked for it to be. The biggest issue has been these games getting to overtime in Toronto. I mean, Toronto had a power play at the beginning of overtime in Game 4. Ottawa survives the storm, scores, wins, right? But Toronto has had the firepower and has had the ability to go out and steal these games in OT. Ottawa can come back. The 3-0 comeback is not out of the question. They are good enough to do so. They're gritty enough. They are tough enough, and they have hung around with Toronto in every single facet of this series. It's just the star power, the firepower of the Leafs is going to eventually propel them. I don't think they could lose 4 in a row. Moving on from there, Washington has a 3-1 lead over Montreal. The Habs got one back the other night, which was awesome to see the series continue and extend. It goes back down to DC. We'll see how that ends. Carolina has a 3-1 series lead over the Devils. They were I saw some stuff about Timo Meier making a hit. I'm gonna have to look into that and see if there's something more to be said or not. I don't want to comment on something I didn't see, but Carolina with a 3-1 series lead. They have dominated the series. I think they're gonna win and move on and take it. If I'm projecting right now, I think that each of these teams with a 3-1 lead do ultimately pull it off. I know that's chalky and boring, but that's just the ultimate fact of the matter with all three of them. Florida and Tampa Bay have been in interesting games where none of them have been close, but the two teams are just as good as one another and can beat each other on any given night. Florida has a 2-1 series lead at the moment. We'll see how that carries forward. But it's been a fun series, a fun battle for Florida. The Western Conference. All four series tied up at 2s right now. Winnipeg and St. Louis. Winnipeg lost both of them down in St. Louis, and that's going to be interesting because it's going to go back up to Winnipeg for a game, and then they're going to come back down to St. Louis, and we could be going 7 here. Dallas and Colorado. At one point in this series, Dallas had not led for over a minute and 10 seconds. It hadn't even been 70 seconds for Dallas to lead in the series, yet they had a 2-1 series lead. Yes, and I say they have not led. I think it was a minute and 4 seconds they had led in the series going into Game 4. I have not seen anything from Game 4, forgive me. But going into that, out of 180 minutes, they've led a minute and 30 seconds, at least at the time. Colorado did get another win, even the series back up at 2 as they go back down to Dallas to go into game number 5. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild has been probably the most fun series of them all because Minnesota has just not taken anything. They've not taken any shit from Vegas, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. This has been a series going back and forth. Kirill Kaprizov back. Joel Eriksson Ek is back, and they are making a big difference for this Minnesota first line and really helping the offense get going, which is something they desperately needed, something that they were missing at the end of the regular season. And now they're in here showing that they have the potential to beat anybody in the Western Conference right now. Minnesota, I think, is the most dangerous team, especially out of the wild cards of any of the four. Said that going into the playoffs. I'm going to continue to say that. We'll see how it goes, but Vegas and Minnesota has been an absolute blast. They go back to Vegas for Game 5. The Kings, the LA Kings, with a 2-2 series against the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers just tied that series up in their most recent game. This series feels like it's been dominated by the Kings. However, Edmonton is just kind of hanging around. Like, the best way to put it is, these teams have faced each other so much in recent history, and it feels like the Kings are trying to exercise all their demons, but then the Oilers kind of tack on more, try to say, okay, well, you got that back, sure, but the series is still tied. Any of these series could end at any moment, but they could also go the full distance. I'm loving the Western Conference and the NHL playoffs. It's been an absolute blast. I'm loving everything that we've been able to see. All the on-field action, the NFL draft this weekend brought so much, truly so much discourse about, Shedeur Sanders or, Jackson Dart going in the first round or whatever you may want to take away from the NFL draft and whatever you may want to take away from this weekend. It was just an absolutely amazing weekend in sports. On the racing side, for those who know that I do a racing podcast called The Final Corner. You can find it on Loudmouth Sports. For everything on the racing side, Talladega this weekend, the All-Star Circuit Champions mean so much to me. They're back and had an absolute fantastic race on Saturday night. It was just a really good weekend in the sports world. Happy to be a part of it. Happy to have seen it. we carry forward. So again, I thank you guys for tuning in, and I really appreciate it. If you got to this point in the video, you leave a like, you subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what some things you enjoyed over the weekend were. And please, if you do nothing else, at least leave a like on the video or subscribe. That helps this channel out a bunch as we continue to try to grow. We're pushing for 100. My goal is to have 100 subscribers by July. It takes a while to build those kinds of numbers up. So I appreciate you guys. However you share this out there, however you guys do to take these in, I just appreciate it. Anything that happens. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'll have some more announcements later on about the college football season and what college football is going to look like here on the channel. But for now, with the patience that you have for me, tomorrow, NFL draft grades drop, and I'm super excited. This is the first time I've ever done this, and I'm gonna really enjoy it. And I'm gonna take my time, and we're gonna make sure it's a really good video for you guys. So I appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.